Hello and welcome to In Conversation, a Dub Lab podcast where each week we will bring you interviews from the Dub Lab radio archives.
All right, this is www.dublab.com. Just getting out of a great set by Mr. Juan Atkins, special guest here. How you doing, Juan?
Hi, how's it going?
Very well, very well. Nice to hear a nice diverse set there. Going from some deep techno going right into house and stuff.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I try to bridge the gap, so to speak.
Cool. So, you're living out here now? Is that correct?
Well, for the moment,
Just
I try to be a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
But for the moment,
cool.
I'm here. Maybe next year, maybe somewhere else.
Just globetrotting around.
Yeah.
Want to talk about your current project that you're working on? I mean, I think a lot of people are familiar with your history and who you are in this whole global electronic scene. So, want to really focus in on what you're up to right now. I know the most current release you have out is the Never Tempt Me on Trezor, or do you have something?
Yeah, that's I don't know. I think did they release that as a single or something yet?
Yeah, it was like a double, like a double LP.
Well, see, they don't even send me the stuff. I don't even know. They told me that it was coming out, but I had no idea that it was actually out. But
I think it's been out. I think since like November or so.
Okay, well, they said they were going to re-release it something with some different mixes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. They came out with a bunch of mixes and stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, that would be the latest thing.
Oh, okay.
But right now, I'm doing Model 500, a new Model 500 album, and I am currently on like the 5th track right now as we speak.
All right.
So.
What's that going to be? What label is that going to be coming out on?
That's going to be on RNS in Belgium.
Okay.
And I don't know for the U.S. We don't have that quite sorted out yet. But hopefully this time around we can finally get a U.S. release for the stuff.
Mm-hmm. In terms of between the Model 500 stuff and the Infinity stuff, how do you separate them? What do you consider them to be the difference between the two projects?
Well, right now, the direction that I'm going in with Model 500 is more songs and lyrics and things of that nature, kind of going back to the roots a little bit, back to the basics in a way. But a lot of people look at it as being so different from what techno is or what is known for techno. But all I'm doing is really going back to what I was doing when I first started, and
more based in soul and funk.
Yeah. And with the Infinity stuff, it'll be the more what people consider the quote-unquote pure techno.
But you don't think there's such a thing, or?
Well, I mean, the definition varies depending on what part of the globe you're on. So, so it's kind of hard to really.
I know most people when I tell them, I'm into techno music, they sing bang bang and that's it. But to me, the whole thing of being into techno that's rooted in Detroit is the fact that you can't really define it. It's rooted in soulful music and jazz and funk, and it's an amalgamation of things.
Right.
So, and I think that's really what your music is about, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and with the Model 500 stuff, it's more including vocals. And are you working with a lot of different vocalists? Or is it you?
Different. Myself, and also, I mean, I don't know if you or people heard the last Model 500 album, Mind and Body, but I'm just taking it along the same direction, just a little bit deeper into that area where a little drum and bass stuff, jungle stuff with vocals, just doing a kind of a, I guess what we call a blending of different styles, style blending.
Yeah, so you're not necessarily aiming it at the dance floor.
Right.
Okay.
Cool. I mean, you might even hear one of the tracks on the radio. Who knows?
that'd be really surprising for commercial radio. But I mean, they got their formats and their formulas that if it don't fit into it, they.
Well, we might just drop. We might just, you never know what door we're gonna creep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll all definitely be playing it here, so it's gonna have an outlet, I'm sure, with the DJs who follow you and people who appreciate your music and stuff.
Cool.
So, actually, one question I did have for you. like back when you started doing this, obviously you didn't have like a culture to refer to, being like, you know, like I think most DJs coming up today figure, oh, they have their DJs they look up to, and you know, the whole scene that they follow. What was it like, you know, pretty much creating like a new type of electronic music based on, you know, Kraftwerk and all that stuff, with no real peers at the time?
Like traveling in darkness, man.
Really?
Like traveling in pitch dark, black darkness. I don't know if you've ever been out in the middle of the country and turned your lights off on your car and tried to drive, but I used to live in the country when I was in high school, and we used to do that kind of stuff just for fun, man.
Yeah.
And but that's what it's like. It's
no guides, no rules, just
right.
just put it out there and see what happens, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah. How were you supporting yourself during that time when it was working odd jobs?
You know, the thing is that when you have your own label, when you're putting out records, I mean, and that's your only sole income, you know, you got to make sure those records sell.
Yeah.
So trust me, I mean, I wasn't just throwing stuff up there and just thinking that it was going to stick.
Okay.
You know, I mean, I was doing what I felt it took for me to sell records, and but not only that, you know, have fun and you know, have a good time, and also, you know, offer some good music. I mean, because I think that's what gets lost in a lot of the big dash for the bucks, is that a lot of creativity gets lost. And I mean, there's a lot of people out there that do want to hear that and will buy that if they can get exposed to it. So that's the whole thing, is to do something different. And, you know, hopefully if that's all you're doing, you know, make sure that, you know, you're not too far above people's heads where, you know, you can't make a living. If that's the way, you know, you're doing it.
Yeah, I remember I read, I think, an article of yours. I think it was in Music Magazine. I think, and the closing words of the interview was you said basically just listen, and you know, it's like. There's so much. I mean, right now we're in an age where like we just get bombarded with information all the time, and it's just like. People don't have time, or they don't want to spend time listening, you know.
Yeah.
And I think with artists such as yourself that put so much time and, you know, creativity into their music, that listening is something really important. And
it's crazy that how sometimes people don't grab hold of something until they're told to, and it's funny how it has to come in print or on the media before somebody says, yeah, okay, that's okay, you know, instead of just trusting their own senses to say what's okay to them, you know. And unfortunately, a lot of people are followers in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I know I grew up in, you know, everything, radio, MTV, whatever it was, you know, that's what you listen to, and that's what all your friends listen to, and you just, to be your own person and figure out what you like as an individual is really tough. So, you know, I definitely give you a lot of props and respect for being able to, you know, go out into the darkness, as you describe it, and not just, you know, slip into whatever categories that other people want to put you into. So, thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
It was a very enjoyable evening here. And for the people out there on the internet, in the chat room and stuff, thank you all for supporting. And thanks again. Juan Atkins here, Metroplex Records on dublab.com.
All right. Thank you.
In Conversation was produced by Dublab, a nonprofit radio station broadcasting live from Los Angeles since 1999. Sound editing and theme song by Matea Baim. For more programming, visit dublab.com. And thank you for listening.